Vanity. Isn't it one of the 7 deadly sins? I have always been vain. That's why the camera is up so high, because it makes you look 10 pounds thinner and about 10 years younger. I feel like I could get a lot more done if I didn't take so much time trying to make sure that everything looked good, but I don't want to not be vain and just let everything completely fall apart.
It's a long road to greatness, but I ain't afraid to face it, 'cause I know I'm gonna make it.
In this video, I share how to get a vintage botanical poster look with stencils and DIY paint. And I also share the story of how I finally figured out how to get good eyelashes. I have tried stenciling many times. I gave up because I could never get the sharp, crispy lines. These brushes right here, it's the denseness of the bristles. You're able to get a really crispy line because of the quality of the brush. I always start by spraying my surface with water. DIY paint is clay-based, highly pigmented, and very thick, so this helps it to go on smooth and it saves paint. I use black velvet left over from the sofa. This is the water bottle. This will help the paint move across the surface. Black velvet is our soft black. We also have little black dress, which is our true black. I used about 8 ounces to cover this entire dresser, or a coat and a half, depending on how you look at it. You can see here that it dries much lighter than when it is wet, but it darkens up again when you apply a top coat. I saw Jamie Rae on the internet. I was looking for someone to teach a class at boot camp. I came upon her videos, and Jamie is not vain. She's focused on getting the stuff done. I saw her making this video with a bad angle. She's told me before, I don't care what I look like, I just need to do it. I liked her. She was no nonsense. I meet her for the first time in the airport. She's a talker. She's a constant talker. She would literally talk up until the moment she fell asleep.
Wake up and listen to my anthem.
I used a chalk line to help me lay out the pattern for my stencils. Jamie Rae stencils are thicker than normal stencils. These ferns and leaves come in one big sheet, but I ended up cutting them up into pieces. It was easier to manipulate that way.
Yeah. Here's another chance to see the change we need. See a miracle when we walk these streets. Living life in the light, redefining the land of the...
Then Jamie started a stencil line. We need plants, we need ferns. I sent her a picture. I want to put them on this dresser and I want to paint it black. And she sends me the link to all the stencils, and the ferns, they weren't in there. She said she forgot. At the last minute, she made some fern stencils, making these just for you, Debbie. I told Jamie, make them big so that I can put them on a piece of furniture. There's the size of the stencil, super small. This is the biggest one right here. That's it. And I texted her. I got my stencils and thought they were going to be big, and she said it would be really expensive to make them big. So I had to make it work. Basically, this just turned into 1,000,000 of these to create the leaves. I did this in one day. It's not that hard.
I can feel it, there's something in the water. Anything is possible. Come on.
I cut up the sheet of stencils and I used all of the leaves like puzzle pieces, following my chalk line to make bigger leaves, taping off the stencil in graduating sizes as I moved further down the branch. The one thing about Jamie though is she does kind of care, because she gets the eyelash extensions. Jamie would come into town and she would have these big old fluttery eyelashes. I would pay $200 just to have my eyelashes look like regular people's eyelashes. I started using the eyelash serum and it made my eyes turn red and bloodshot and people thought that I was crying all the time. I just kind of gave up for a while. We're all stuck in our houses and we can't go anywhere, so it's like, why even be vain? Nobody's gonna see you. We're all just stuck at home. And then boom, one day on Facebook, there's Dion with some eyelashes. It says that they're magnetic. Now, I was skeptical. About a year ago, there were these eyelashes where you had to take two pieces and try and get the eyelashes magnet to like match up, and then they would sandwich together. But then when I went on YouTube and I read all the reviews, everybody said they were impossible to put on.
I use Monet's Garden, Fancy Farm Girl, Apothecary, and Salty Kiss, varying the colors of each branch as I made my way around the dresser.
There's something in the water. Anything is possible.
Then I went over my chalk lines to create the branches with more paint and a tiny brush from the Turquoise Iris.
I'm talking to Dion and she's like, yeah, they work and they're only $11. I got them in the mail. They look like this. And this is the eyeliner right here. See, and it's really thick like tar, and you put it on your eyelid and you wait for it to dry, and you can't blink because if you do, it will get way up here and then your eyelid will stick together. But then after it dries, boom, the eyelashes just go on like magic. I put them on and I looked like Jamie Rae. I had the big dramatic eyelashes. They were so big that I had to trim them because they were banging up against my eyebrows. In case you're wondering, I do not get any kickbacks. I just really like these eyelashes. This is the picture that I found on Pinterest, and I wanted the dresser to look like a botanical chart or a poster. I got everything stenciled just the way I wanted it, and then there was a big black blank space in the middle. I sent Jamie a message. I want to put a word in the middle just like the poster, and she told me that I should put the word phytormediation. Told me that I should use the word phytormeditation. Jamie, what does that even mean, and how do you even know that word? And she said it's what plants do when they clean the air. People will plant plants in an area where the soil is contaminated. I thought it was a great word. I can do the stencils when they're free flowing and you don't have to line them up perfectly. If you get the letter crooked or off balance, I asked Jamie to give me some tips on how to stencil with letters. And so Jamie sent me a little video clip and I'm gonna insert it right here.
All right, Debbie, when you want to stencil a word on a piece, there's a few tips I want to share with you. Not all letters are the same height depending on the font, so make sure that you take a ruler or a straight edge and carefully pencil a line. After you've penciled that line, you're going to line up your letters not by the bottom of the stencil, but by the bottom of the letter. Make sure that everything's evenly spaced and start with the middle letter first and work your way out.
Tea, 2 sugars, milk and honey, please show Windsor. Kiss cup like this most every day.
In this case, I did not need to use the ruler to create a pencil line. I just used the bottom of the drawer instead. I did follow the rest of Jamie's tips and everything lined up nicely. Jamie's stencils are easy to use because they are thicker than most stencils, and her brushes really make it easy to get a nice crisp line.
But I also wanted to add like a chalky background, so I rubbed chalk all over it, and then after that I put the big top on it. Honestly, I don't know what kind of story to tell you. Like, can I tell you the story about how the whole world shut down? All I have been doing is thinking about the words creativity is a survival instinct. I've been doing all kinds of things to help the retailers, to offer drop shipping. And thanks to you placing all the orders online, all of the retailers are still able to ship out their paint. So I thank you for that. I
I rubbed chalk over the entire surface of the dresser, and then I put a sock on my hand to wipe off the excess, to give this dresser the look of a vintage poster that was written on a blackboard. The last thing I did was apply Big Top to seal everything in. It's a brush-on water-based sealer. You want to apply this top coat generously. Big Top will dramatically deepen the color of the paint, and it dries quickly, so apply it generously and don't apply it in the sun so you get a nice even finish. This was the perfect finishing touch to my dresser. My retail store in Solana Beach has been closed like many other stores during the health crisis, so I'm putting this piece of furniture along with the sofa from the last video on my website. We can ship it to you. The price of shipping will vary depending on your location.
And if your heart can't receive it, it's a sign.
Normally, I take my furniture to my store and it sells. I need to make room in this house so that I can bring a new piece of furniture in. So I'm putting the sofa and the dresser on my website and we can ship them. And yeah, that's it. Let me know in the comments what you have been doing to stay creative, and I will see you in the next video.
I'm spending money like I just got paid. $100 bills, tell them keep the change. Come on.
To find out more about the products that I used in this video, to find DIY paint in your area, or to sell it in your store, or to find out about our brand new YouTube channel called DIY A Go-Go, daily DIY videos from the DIY retailers. Be sure to subscribe, our first video posted today. Click the link below for all the information. Thanks for watching.